Welcome to our Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, September 22nd. Today, showers and thunderstorms will move further north and east across Idaho, Wyoming, and into the eastern portion of Utah. These thunderstorms may not be quite as extensive as what we saw yesterday, but we will see some areas of wetting rains and also much cooler temperatures today, so we will see snow levels dropping, so do expect some snowfall in some of the higher elevations of central Idaho into Wyoming. Otherwise, this moisture exits to the north and east by tomorrow, so we are expecting drier and warmer conditions for the weekend. Over the last 24 hours, we saw significant amounts of thunderstorms and wetting rains over the eastern half of Idaho into Wyoming and parts of Utah. These thunderstorms dropped areas over a ½ inch to even 3/4 of an inch of precipitation. Further north and west towards our large fires in central Idaho, the precipitation was a little bit more spotty, but we did see some areas of light rainfall and even some areas of wetting rains up towards the Moose Fire. Over the last 24 hours, Great Basin fire activity has been light, with only 4 small fires reported. And over the last 7 days, precipitation has been targeted over the northern 2/3 of the Great Basin, which many areas have seen above normal precipitation. Very dry areas continue over far southern Nevada. Currently, our ERCs are well below normal in the western and southern areas of the Great Basin and near to below normal in northern areas as well. So our fire danger has really decreased over the last week. The satellite loop from this morning shows an area of low pressure now centered over Idaho. This area of low pressure will be slow moving today and eventually push north and east tomorrow. However, below this area of low pressure is where we'll continue to see the showers and thunderstorms across Idaho into eastern Utah, and also some pretty gusty winds associated with this low. As we move into later today, again, the low pressure will continue to affect the area. We will continue to see moisture in the north and east, and also some pretty gusty winds ahead of this area of low pressure in Idaho, but humidity will be much higher. Therefore, fire potential will remain low. As we look at the winds and the moisture, you can see relative humidity above 30 or 40% in Idaho, but those wind gusts will be out of the west or northwest and pretty gusty with gusts in the 30s and 40s. Further south, generally light to moderate winds, but we will have some lower humidity in southern Nevada. Showers and thunderstorms today, again, will be less organized than what we saw yesterday, but still focused across Idaho, Wyoming, and parts of eastern Utah. As we move into Friday, that area of low pressure tracks to the north and east, taking much of that moisture with it, so we will see drier and warmer conditions for the Great Basin with still low fire potential. Relative humidity will start dropping in Idaho and Wyoming, but still remain above 20 or 25%. However, further south where that dry air remains over Nevada and Utah, we will see relative humidity dropping back down into the teens. Winds Friday will decrease from what we'll see today, still a westerly direction across much of Idaho and Wyoming, with gusts in the 20s, but again, not quite as strong as what we'll see today. As we move into Saturday, that dry air pushes in across all areas of the Great Basin with warmer temperatures. Again, still low fire potential. Saturday, relative humidities remain in the teens or single digits in southern areas of the Great Basin, and generally between about 20 and 25% up north, but winds significantly decrease with light winds region-wide. Forecast amounts of precipitation are shown here, with the heavier amounts of precipitation being, again, spotty wetting rains over parts of central and eastern Idaho into Wyoming, and then also eastern Utah. As we move into the weekend, the ridge of high pressure continues to build, so we are expecting warmer and drier conditions to either near seasonal normals or just above normal temperatures, but definitely much drier. Significant fire potential will still remain low. This pattern continues into early next week with warming and drying under the ridge, and again going towards midweek. We will see some drying to our predictive services areas in parts of southern Nevada, but for the most part still low fire danger region-wide. And by Wednesday, we have an area of low pressure approaching the west coast. Still drier conditions expected for the Great Basin, but we could see some clouds develop out ahead of this area of low pressure. Otherwise, 7-day total precipitation no different than the 3-day, with all the precipitation really falling today. The 8 to 14-day outlook from September 29th through October 5th still shows warm conditions and dry weather in the northern areas. We will see a return to some wetter conditions over the southern half of the Great Basin. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.